Previous session we have seen, see, just configuring always on. Okay, so with one primary, one secondary replica. So we have seen failure, we have seen, but we have seen that like for always on or SQL cluster, platform is Windows cluster. So first Windows cluster should be configured. On top of that, we can practice this actually. But again, this Windows cluster configuration is done by our Windows and storage team, not our job. So we'll raise the ticket to Windows team. They will configure the Windows cluster. After that, we can test whether Windows cluster is working or not. Then we can start our configurations, either always on or SQL cluster. Okay, so what we'll do, just we'll see today like how to configure Windows cluster so that it will be very clear for us for next concepts. See, configuring Windows cluster. Basically, say like we have seen that cluster is a group of servers. It may be Windows cluster or SQL cluster. So say like say to the users or applications, highly available to the users or applications. Basic purpose of clusters here. So which is a group of servers which are called as nodes, and nodes, okay, servers which are connected to each other to make a set of services highly available. Means in our case, a set of services are what? SQL Server services. Highly available either in this machine or in that, but available to the users here, set of services. Then basically we have seen that the servers in a cluster are called cell nodes. Technically, we are calling them as nodes. And generally, say like in cluster, it may be Windows cluster or anything. In general, we need two types of networks are required for us: public and private networks. So, public network is a external network. Private network is an internal. Two types of, means what? Private network is there for internal communications, means what? Between the nodes, we can say between the cluster resources, whereas public network is there for applications or user access. Public network. Then so in general here, like cluster can be configured with any OS or only with server operating systems. Any OS means like Windows 7 is there, for example. Windows 8, Windows 10 is there. These are client operating systems. So with this, we can't configure compulsory server OS. Server operating systems, that is Windows Server 2012, 2016, any server operating systems. Means in Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 we can't configure. These are what? Personal for personal computers or client operating systems. Okay, so in general here, like here in case of Windows here, like whenever we configure Windows cluster, automatically in each node, means in each server, so in the cluster, so one extra service is created, cluster service. Name itself is cluster service. In general, here this is my Windows 10. If I go to services.msc, here see there is no cluster service here. Why? Because Windows 10 this is, and this machine is not in a cluster. The server like a cluster service is created in each node, which is responsible for heartbeat between the nodes. Okay, so writing the cluster events or writing cluster errors. Okay, so as well as performing failover. All these activities are done by the cluster service here internally. Okay, which is a Windows service, not our SQL Server service. It is a Windows service, cluster service.
So those servers may be in a cluster, they will maybe perform different tasks.
Correct, correct. No, no, different.
That means the servers OS should be compatible with the SQL servers which we are using.
Correct, correct. Compatible OS must be there.
That means in private network, which are the systems are there, they need to be configured with the compatible systems.
Correct. The nodes which are there in the that should be in compatible. So there is like that's why all the nodes must have same OS here with the same patch service pack. So as well as all the nodes must have same configurations, system configurations, hardware configurations. Generally, we'll use identical machines. We'll use identical with same memory, same hard disk, same I/O, like this. Identical machines. Then, in general, say like already we have seen to configure like two node cluster. Generally, we have active, passive, active, active. Various cluster environments are there, but OS level, if you see, only we have active, passive cluster. OS level means one active node, remaining are passive nodes. Okay, so but at SQL level, we can make active active. SQL level, not OS level. Then, so absolutely like that's why we have seen that Windows cluster is a platform for always on and SQL cluster. That's why compulsory before configuring always on and SQL cluster, first we have to raise the ticket to Windows team. Windows and storage team will create what Windows cluster. On top of that, we can configure SQL cluster. Okay, right. So let's say what I will do. I will configure Windows clusters here, two node cluster. Configuration steps are there. For example, first here we have to make one machine as a domain controllers here. Domain controller, which is DC, domain controller or Active Directory server. Active Directory server. After configuring a machine as a domain controller, then so we have to create storage. Generally, here we are using storage area network. So storage and say like just remember in the storage we have drives are there actually in the storage. Those drives generally we'll call as LUNs here, logical unit numbers. So we are saying drives, but the storage team they are calling it as LUNs, logical unit numbers. Means like in the storage is a collection of hard disks actually in the SAN. They can combine two hard disks also. They can represent as F drive, like this here, the storage. Then drives are there, like generally here like to configure Windows cluster, we need at least one drive from the storage. which is called quorum drive. See, quorum drive or witness disk. Quorum drives here. We need minimum one drive from the storage as part of Windows cluster configuration. So we have seen that this drive we are calling it as what? Quorum drive or witness disk. Okay, so then see once the drives are ready here, once the drives here domain is ready, the storage is ready, then here like we have to make two machines which will they will act as what node 1 node. Say make two servers ready, that means what these machines act as nodes. Means these that's what remember in the domain also we have server OS is it, in nodes also we have server OS, only server OS here. Then so after that once the nodes these machines act as nodes, then next steps here, access the storage drives from the access storage drives in nodes using we have automatically one software is there here iSCSI initiators here. Generally in Windows Server OS, we have one software called iSCSI Initiator. By using that iSCSI Initiator, we can access the drives from node 1 to. After accessing the drives from node 1, node 2, so we can provide drive letters. Means similar drive letters we have to provide. Means in node 1 you have provided MN, node 2 also MN. Same drive letters. See, observe just we are discussing the steps how to create Windows cluster. Nitin, I think just now you have connected.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
just still we have not started practically. So we have to make one machine as domain controller. Then we have
Means right now you are, sir. Right now you are exploring the Windows, the the Windows cluster.
yeah
You gonna do it?
yeah. So Windows cluster we are going to configure now. Just steps we are
Okay.
discussing. We have to make one machine as a domain controller. Then we'll create one storage. In the storage, we can create the drives. So for Windows cluster, one drive is required, but for SQL cluster, we need extra drives. So make two servers ready, which will act as node 1, node 2. Access the storage drives in nodes using iSCSI initiator. After accessing, we have to provide the drive letters, similar letters. After providing the drive letters here, configure Windows clusters. These are still like steps are there here to in order to start Windows cluster configuration. Okay, so let's say what I will do, I will make these machines one by one, but maybe it takes time. But in my machine, some good hardware is there. Maybe it may be done very fastly. Already, actually, Windows cluster is there in my machine. Actually, I will remove that Windows cluster. Again, I will configure from scratch. Okay, right. Check here. Let's say already this is my VM machine. See, first steps here we have to install VMware or with Hyper-V software also we can configure. Hyper-V is there from Microsoft. So VMware is there from different company. So sir, actually these are my three. This is my domain. This is node one, node two. Just I will destroy this existing cluster so that we can configure from beginning.
Sir, for that we need to have IP address for SQL instances, right? For installing
Right, right. We'll discuss that.
on the cluster.
Yeah, yeah. Separate IPs
Okay.
we have to configure. Generally, we have seen like for Windows cluster, each node should have generally say two IPs minimum, private and public, two IPs here. So that IPs we have to configure actually. Yeah, machines are down. Just yeah. So just here I will. Yeah, I think you see, yeah, their software is there. Machines are there here. VMs. Yeah, I think yeah, this is server one, server. Sorry, these are our machines. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, no problem. So these are, I think, actually our actual machines. Okay. Yeah. So now, yeah. So let's say first I will install here in S drive. I am installing. So first I will make one machine ready, which will work as a domain controller here. It is done very fastly here. New virtual machine. Next, where is the ISO image? It is asking. So I think in my drive, in my machine, it is there here. In F, you take this later for practice. It means Windows image. This is image file, ISO file. Next. So like admin username password optional later also we can provide. Okay. So just Windows machine we are creating with what name you want to create the machine it is saying. So SQL DC 100 MC. Only it was there SQL DC MC. Anyone SQL domain controller and in which drive you want to create this machine it is saying. Let's say I will take my S drive, same drive, same drive in VMs folder. Okay, so next. Now, sir, disk space it is asking. Let's say I make 40 GB. Means like, and I want to store as a single file. Next, so we can customize the hardware later. Also, we can customize. By default, 2 GB it is taking. Let's say I will take 8 GB memory machine. Okay, so 8 GB. Okay, then one CPU I want. So network adapter NAT is a NAT is for internal communication. We can use here bridge. These are VMware related concepts not required for us. So then, so with single processor, I am creating the machine. See, in the domain, we need only one LAN card is required for us. Already it is there. One LAN card is required. Already it is there. But in node 1, node 2, we need two LAN cards. One is for private, one is for public. Just say I will say close, uh, create the machine I am saying. Very fastly it is created. Maybe 4 5 minutes it may take maximum. So once the machine is ready, what we can do, we can set the IPs, we can set according to our requirement. After setting the IPs, we have to qualify this machine as a domain controller. Domain controllers here.
Sir, I have a quick question here. Sir,
Yes, sir.
first for creating SQL server, like the Windows cluster, we need to create the domain controller, right?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
In this domain controller, we need to add those two nodes, right?
Correct. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. In the Windows cluster, we'll add. Before adding, we have to add in this domain. Right, right.
Yeah, means like means like what we need to do, first like we need to create domain controller and then from this or what we need to do is or we need to create two another VMs and those two VM nodes we need to connect to this domain controller,
Right, right.
the domain controller.
Same, same. Right, right. Correct. So once.
That
Hmm,
that means we are creating the three VMs, right? For
correct.
one for domain controller and the other like how many nodes you want to put it like the active
Mhm.
active or passive passive.
Right.
Then you will be creating these many nodes like that means the Windows team will be creating for each server for each thing for each the for example if you are taking the physical server it will take the physical like the standalone or if it's a VM they will create like for three VMs for the each three things, right?
Right, right. Correct.
Okay, sir, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Just a machine one creation is going on. Maybe it takes 3 5 minutes maximum. So once the machine one is ready, means OS is ready for us. We have to configure the IP we have to set. After that, we have to qualify this machine as a domain controller. Yeah, see, done very fastly. Yeah, machine is ready. So in normal machine, it takes time, 5-10 minutes.
Can you install in Windows 10?
Means Windows 10 means first in Windows 10 we are installing VMware software. So this is my VMware software. In that we are creating the machines.
Sir, I have the one more small quick question for you.
Mhm.
Like for creating these VMs, for 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 example, if I want to create those VMs on my laptop, right? I
Correct.
need to install VMware in the first VMware machine, and in that VMware we need to create these VMs. I understood, but I
Correct.
want to know that for example, if you want to give these IP, for example, right, you're gonna configure the IP address for these things, right?
Mhm. Right, right.
But the static IP, how can we can get those IP address? Do we need to contact our internet provider, or they, or what exactly? How can we get those things?
No, no, these are the private IPs only. So we can use any range we can use, but if want to low access through internet, then
Mhm.
we have to provide that internet range IP. Generally, what happens, like if you provide the static, if you take static IP from the internet providers, static IP, so they
Mm.
provide some static IP. That static IP range we can use. Okay.
Hello? Your voice got cut, sir.
Yeah, yeah. That static IP range we can use.
Okay. Can you can you tell me while you are using your machine, right? How
Yeah,
from where you got your IP address from? By that I can what I'm trying to do is
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
also actually I had a VMware in my machine,
Hmm.
and I can install those things. That's the reason I'm asking
What
that.
you do before providing the IPs, you check the IP address of your machine. This is the range we can use here. So,
Okay.
so in the same range, we can provide the IPs. 190 in this machine. This is my host machine IP. This is 1.12. So I can provide any other IPs in the same range. 192,
Like
1 dot. Yeah,
one dot
you take
12, 1.13, 14.
right, right, right. You take 100, something here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So machine is created. Let's say we can provide the IP now. We can make this machine as a
Yes.
domain controller. Check here by default net connectivity is there in the machine. Why? Because there is no IP was assigned. So manually we can assign the IPs here proper. Let's say what I will do. I will assign the IP 192. Sorry, just 192, 168, 1.100 I am saying, for example. Okay, so preferred DNS we can leave that or we can use same IP, not compulsory. Say okay, okay, close. Yeah, basically, it is saying that some VM tools it has installed, so which allows to access just drag and drop if want to copy any files from host. VM tools are required by default; they are installed. It is saying so. Machine was restarted. We have set the IP address of the machine. Now what I will do, I will check one time IP. Maybe here it was assigned successfully. Check it 192.168.1.100 I have taken IP. So the same way we can make turn off Windows firewall. Later we can make off on later. Now see, machine is ready. IP is assigned successfully. Our next activity, next step is what we have to make this machine as a domain controller. domain controller. To make the machine as a domain controller, I will go to here server manager. Server manager tool is there by default. So in the server manager tool, check here we can add roles and features.
Okay.
Roles and features. Next, next, next. Check here like Active Directory domain services. I am selecting here. Means in this machine I want to make as a Active Directory domain. Active Directory domain services. Next. The remaining things are optional. Next, finish, install. So basically here like installation, once the installation is done, means then we have to configure. Means what is your domain name? Like optimize.com, any is your domain name. Some other properties we have to configure, then the domain is ready. And better we can change before configuring the domain, we can change the machine name also if want. This is the default system name it has taken, machine name. Yeah. So done successfully. It is saying configuration is done successfully. Sorry, installation done, but configuration is required. It is asking. Okay, close. So here automatically here one icon is showing that you have to configure this, promote this server to a domain controller. Automatically it is showing. Check here. I will promote this as a domain controller. Here add a new forest I'm saying. Provide the domain name. It is asking. Domain names here. Optimize.com I'm saying here. Anything. Next. So like type the directory services restore mode password. Some strong password we can use. Next. Use same password everywhere. Honestly to avoid confusion. Better. Next. Next. Maybe what happened like actually like I am the administrator. For example, there is no password we have assigned for this user while creating the machine also. That warning it throws now. So net BIOS name also same I am taking. These are the means extra folders are there where the domain information is maintained. Next, next, finish here. But that is it is saying verification of prerequisite domain controller. So administrator account becomes the something. So it is saying that cannot be created because local administrator password does not meet requirements. It is saying. So first go to here see computer management. We can reset some strong password. Strong passwords here for administrator. Okay. For my name also I'm saying same password for example. Okay. So password we have reset successfully. Then again I will ask, I will say rerun prerequisites check I'm saying. Yeah. Now here some warnings it is saying, but there is no error install. Now here like domain controller is created now. Domain is configured successfully. Best practice restart the machine one time, then create your own account, domain account, one separate domain account, so that with the total privileges. domain account, so that we can use that account now for all the other configurations. Domain account. Yeah, share configured successfully. Automatically, it will restart the machine. It is saying no problem. We can restart. Share very fastly. My domain is ready. See. Now what I will do, again, I will create a domain account with total privileges so that we can use that account now. So once the domain is ready, next what I will do in the same machine, I will create the storage also in same domain. Separate machine also we can take one more machine. No need for practice purpose. We can create what storage.
Sir, you are recording this thing, right?
Right, right. Yeah, yes, yes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, sir, I will create one more machine parallel. We'll make this as node 1. Okay. Next, next, same thing here. Next, let's say node 1 MC. Same yes drive and install. Yes drive VMs. Next, virtual machine it is saying. Already it is there, it is saying. Just check one time. We'll continue this. This is my domain here. Let's see what I will do. I will create a domain account here. Basically, remember for SQL Server also we need one account. So first I will create my own account here for as a domain admin. I will use this account now, domain account. To create domain accounts here, we can go to domain security administration dot msc here. DSA.msc, domain security administration. Okay. Check here, this is my domain name, it is saying. Okay, so in that we have not added any machines to the domain. Let's say I will create one user. I am creating here, new user. This user I will use. Say user 99 something I am taking. Same with some strong password. Next, finish. Now to this user, I will add the total privileges here. Add advance, fine now. Let's say I will make him as a member of administrators as well as domain administrators. Various roles are there, DNS admins. Maybe differences may be there in these roles, but domain. I think enterprise admin is enough, only one. But okay, let's say we don't know exactly our Windows related things. Okay, I've added to some roles actually. Administrator, domain admins. By default, this is domain users, is the domain admins and enterprise admins. Means what this role will provide you to perform any task in this machine now. For example, let's say I will switch off, log off to this, sign out to my local account. Now I will connect through domain accounts. Login. This is the other user. So user 99. So now he can log, he can take remote desktop, he can do anything with that roles. Okay, now I will use this account only now to work with the total setup domain account. Right. So domain is ready. Successfully we have configured. Let's say we'll create very fastly a node one. I think in that path only node one is there. It is just check one time. Yes, try VMs. We'll make one subfolder. Yes, drive VMs. VMs. I will say node one, for example. Okay. Next. Let's say I will make it same 40 GB, for example. Next, we can configure. Let's say I will make the same machine again. So 8 GB I'm saying two LANs are required for us, private and public. 8 GB I'm saying 8 GB machine I want. As well as one network adapter is there. I will make it a bridge one. One more adapter we can add here. See. One more adapter we can later also we can add once the machine is ready. Add MC. So what do you want to add? It is saying network adapter. Next, what do you want? Both NAT is enough actually. Both I am saying bridge actually. Two network adapters are ready. Okay. Same this machine also I am making as 8 GB machine. So that it becomes very fast actually. So okay, finish. So creating the machine. Same thing, I will create one more machines here for node 2 also. Almost all with 40 GB I am creating, for example. Same will add here, one extra network card will add, and I will make it 8 GB machine. Right, finish here. Parallelly here I will go to once we Generally, sir, for SQL Server also, we need one domain account is required for SQL Server. So why? Because the SQL servers which are running in Node 1, Node 2 must be running with domain account to configure always on or mirroring or log shipping or clustering. Okay, that's why I will go to same here, domain security administration dot MSC, domain security administration. Which machine we are currently in my machine? Yeah. So DSA.msc. So what I will do, already one user is there, that is for me actually. One more user I am creating with admin privileges. This is for SQL instance as a SQL account. Let's say SQL user I am saying any name. Next. Yeah, account is ready. Better you best practice add him to in admin privileges, member of administrators.
Sir, I have a small question here.
Yeah,
Sir, right now you create a user called SQL. What is that user?
yeah, for SQL account means as a
Yeah, yeah,
service account will use this SQL user.
yeah. As a SQL for the SQL user, you added that into that user as an administrator group, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah,
Okay.
right. So machine is going on, creation is going on, machine one. Then we have to rename it node one. No, later also we can rename. This is node two, still machine is created. Yeah, this machine is ready, here node one. Now here what I will do, same thing, we have to set the IPs, we have to configure in node 1. We have to install the .NET framework, we have to enable. Why? Because for SQL Server, .NET framework must be enabled. Then for cluster, we have to enable one feature, failover cluster feature. These three things I will do. After that, I will add into domain. 4 steps. Set the network. Second one is what? Enable .NET framework. Third one, enable failover cluster. Fourth one, add into yeah, in the domain. Add into domain. Normally it takes time in 8 GB, 16 GB machine. My machine is 64 GB. That's why I done very fastly.
RAM is like 8 GB or 64 GB RAM, sir.
No, no. My machine 88 we have allocated no only to the
Yeah, but like actually my machine configuration it's like 8 GB RAM and 1 TB hard disk. Is it fine to create the VMs?
yeah, yeah, we can create, but it becomes slow, takes time. You allocate to 2 GB for machines, 2 GB for each machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yours is 64 GB RAM, right, sir?
Yeah, yeah, correct. It's like our server. Yeah. Actually, we have discussed that meanwhile in node domain itself, I will create the storage domain itself. We can use one more machine, honestly not required. I will make the same machine as a storage. That's why for storage, to create the storage, we need some uh, softwares are required. Previously, we used to use like Open Filer, Starwind, something. But from Windows 2012 Server OS, so in OS itself, Microsoft has provided to create the storage. iSCSI option is provided so that we can create the storage. Yeah, absolutely. Just remember, I'm making the same machine, domain machine as a storage also, SAN also. For that purpose, again, we have to go to server manager. Server manager, observe, we have to enable one. Here already it is showing file and storage services. Sorry, iSCSI. Okay, so here see, it is showing that to install iSCSI target server, start the add roles and features wizard. Same thing, in the features wizard, we have to install this iSCSI option, we have to install. See here, by default, it has selected file and iSCSI services, by default selected, just you say next. Next, install. See, once this iSCSI target storage services are installed, then we can create the drives now. Drives which can be accessed in node 1 node. Now see, machine is ready.
And
Yeah, yes, Nitin.
if you added them into the cluster, the storage will be in a shared drive, right? Are we using active or active passive?
No, no, still we have not made it. We'll see that. Actually, Windows level, remember, always it is one active remaining passive. But SQL level, we can make it active also. We'll see while discussing SQL. Check here now see here. Now it is enabled successfully. Now create the new iSCSI virtual disk. Suppose already virtual disk is there in your laptop, I can import here directly. We can use existing disk, but I am creating here new virtual disk. Observe here. Next, so names here. Let's say yes, any name, SQL SAN something. I'm saying any name, disk name actually. Path it has taken default path. Next, now with how much size you want this disk, it is asking. Let's say I will take this as a quorum one some disks here. Next, just here disks are stored with VHDX actually. Previously it was VHD. Both are supported here. Next, now here with how much memory you want, how much size you want it is. Generally for quorum disk, we are using 2 GB memory. Minimum 1 GB is enough for us here, for quorum disk. Fixed size you want or dynamically in future you want to expand, it is asking. We can use any one option. For quorum actually 512 is enough actually. 1 GB I am saying. Next, now say new iSCSI target, we have to add target name, it is asking any name SQL SAM. Next, now add the target servers, it is asking. These are the target servers IPs we have to add. Means what, from which servers you can access these drives. Nodes, node 1 node 2. Observe, I have not configured still node 1 node 2 IPs. Let's say I will configure these IPs 101 102. 100 we have taken for SAN. Public IPs these are. Private we can use some another range. Okay. One more here. Add. Here, okay. From these machines, I want to access this disk. I am saying next, next, create. So disk is created very fastly with 1 GB. That's why very fastly created. Still not connected from anywhere. It is same. From node 1 we are not connected. Like let's say I will create later also we can create. Now itself let's say I will create other disks also. One is this is for SQL. This is for Quorum we have created just now. I will create one more disks here for SQL 1. Okay, for example, so let's say for SQL I am taking 5 GB disk. I am taking next existing target we can use. Next, we create two disks already. Like this here in future also we can add any number of disks. Let's say with two disks already now in the storage. I will go back to here node 1. Here see node 1. In node 1 what we have to do now, just one time I will shut down. Just I will rename it to node 1. Node is it, just once it shut down we can rename. Okay, just here I will say node 1. Okay, just here I am again starting the machine node 1. Node 2, I think this machine is also ready for us. Okay, so now sir we have to configure now one by one machine we have to configure. So I will go one by one. If you have any confusion, yeah, time is there, we can finish it. Say node 1, node 2, two machines are ready. Better always first you rename this machine to node 1. Actually that VM machine is node 1 but its name is different. Just change the name to node 1. Later also we can change, we'll change later. First we'll add the roles. Which role we have to add up here? We have to enable check here .NET framework we have to enable. I will say failover clustering also. See, once we enable this one, then only we'll get one tool called failover cluster manager. Still here I have not set IP. Still it is using internet IP, so that sometimes it may not enable without internet. First let the enabling process should complete, then we'll reset the IP. Next, install. Same I will do here in node 2 also. First here add features. Next, .NET framework and failover clustering. Next, install. Yeah, the installation process is going on in both the machines. Once it is done installation, I will rename the machines. I will restart one time once the installation is done. Just 1 minute.
Sir, you can. Sir, you can hear me, sir? Hello.
Yes, yes.
I thought you were like not talking, then that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
disconnected.
Two features we have selected, taking some time. Failure cluster and .NET framework.
Sir, like yesterday's two classes you will be sending us, right?
Yesterday we have seen.
Yesterday not seen.
Like
Yesterday,
last 2 3 classes
yeah,
you haven't sent to us, right, sir?
right, correct. Just seven, right? I think. The installation success etc. Close this. They are going on. Okay. So now installation success. What I will do, I will go back to this machine. So I will reset the IP subsidiary. So let's say I will make the first one as a public IP just for identification. This is private. Let's say first we'll reset public IP in the same range we have seen just now 192. Yeah, 192.168.1.101 and preferred DNS here 192.168.1.100. This is our preferred DNS or domain server. If want internet connectivity or through internet also, our static IP is there 1.1 I am using, not compulsory. Close. Yeah, sir, I have this I will later will configure before configuring Windows cluster. So now sir, like we have configured successfully, IP we have set. I will change to turn off. Next, rename this machine to node 1. I will say node 1 and parallelly add the machine into domain. I think optimize.com. Optimize.com we have used here. So just it will prompt for username password. So then we can provide that here. That's why I have created one user 99 with all the privileges. I will use that users here. See, very fastly machine is added into domain successfully. Restart the machine one time. Same things here. I will go to second machine also. Here also installation was done successfully. Next steps here. Change the network public. One 192.168.1.10 sorry 102 MC. So same preferred DNS 100. This is my internet IP actually one dot. Okay. Now, sir, like here also I have said network, then same thing, go to properties, just node 2. Let's say parallelly will add into domain optimize dot. Maybe firewall is there. Optimize dot. Fine, but I think here is no problem. Restart the machine one time. No, sorry, we have to. Here, see, I have connected through local account. That was the problem, was it? Local account, see.
Okay.
By using local account, we can add. We can't add into domain. We have to connect through. Sorry, still not added no, into domain with local account only. Maybe we have to restart one time. It is okay. Maybe.
Sir, sir, after this we can continue the class tomorrow or what?
Yeah, yeah. Last step we'll see. We'll continue tomorrow. Just
From here.
trying, yeah, I'm trying to add into domain. I think fine. I think configuration is fine, and we have changed the yeah. Here this firewall also we have set successfully. Maybe we have to set that password. Let's see. Some problem is that we have to restart the machine one time. We can try again. Okay, from here we'll continue again tomorrow. Means what next steps here? What I will do once this is also added successfully into domain next year by using one software called iSCSI Initiator, we have to access that storage drives in Node 1, Node 2 storage drives. After accessing storage drives, then we can configure Windows cluster. Next steps. We'll continue again with the Windows cluster configuration.
Sir, you're gonna send me the video, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
That for this today's session and the last 3 sessions.
yeah. I will check that. Pending, I will send. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then. Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your this time. Really, it really was appreciate for today's class. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye, sir.